Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Jordan is irresponsible and lazy.
Kyle poured freezing cold water on me.
They're engaged to be married.
You're abusing alcohol.
You're abusing me.
He has a black belt.
You say he tried to gouge your eye out.
Gouge your eye?
She's had bruises.
I don't try and hurt you. I just try and stop you from doing anything to me.
She's charging you like a bull, is that what you're saying, and you're having to take her down?
Yeah.
I'm begging you to please acknowledge what is really happening.
You seriously think I'm physically abusing you?
Why do you think we are here?
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. You know, my guests today are a really attractive couple, Kyle and Jordan. They've dated for almost 2 years before getting engaged last July. But Jordan says there are a few little glitches that have prevented them from walking down the aisle. Now, in the past few months, she claims Kyle, who has a black belt in karate, has pushed her to the floor, knocked her down the stairs, into walls, and tried to push her eyeball out of her eye socket. Choked her and left bruises on her body. During moments of rage, he allegedly called the takedown and even hosed her down with water. But Kyle not only vehemently denies committing any form of abuse, but he also says Jordan is the one with the problem, not him. Well, believe it or not, Jordan also claims she is partially to blame for all of this. Let's take a closer look.
When I first started dating Kyle, he was charming, outgoing. We quickly fell in love, and I wanted to be with Kyle.
Jordan was awesome. We were madly in love with each other.
About 1.5 years into our relationship, Kyle changed. Kyle started acting snappy and aggressive.
I went to the doctor and I discovered that I had barely any testosterone in my body. I tried testosterone injections, but they just didn't work.
Kyle became very hostile and aggressive.
I myself can be very short-tempered. Jordan knows how to push my buttons better than any other person.
Kyle has grabbed me by the neck and choked me. Kyle has slammed me into the wall probably 30 times. He has kicked me and slapped me in the face. He has spat on me.
I've studied martial arts. I've earned a black belt in Filipino karate.
He does these things called takedowns.
I would put her in a hold or disarm her. Once Jordan started sleeping in later and later.
Kyle poured freezing cold water on me while I was in bed.
I'm a firm believer in treating someone the way you want to be treated. And Jordan has driven me to do some of this. Jordan insults me. She's mean to me.
Please don't interrupt me. I always left bruises on my body. When Kyle is violent with me, I normally just kind of curl up into a ball on the floor. That's where I know I'm gonna end up anyway.
I feel Jordan's overly dramatic about the way she describes our lives. I don't feel like I'm abusive because I don't hit anyone. I don't start fights. I've never been an aggressor.
I feel guilty for talking about this, but I really want it to stop.
Jordan should never feel afraid of me because she's the woman who I love.
I love Kyle, but I'm terrified of what he's capable of, and I'm terrified of losing him.
Okay, Jordan, I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry we're talking about what we're talking about.
Me too. I think that, you know, if anybody can help Kyle and I, that's you.
Have you fully admitted to yourself that you're in an abusive relationship?
Yes, sir.
But you say that you're responsible for part of it.
I feel that way because I do things, you know, out of the norm. I do know how to push Kyle's buttons. I mean, sometimes I do. I do feel like it is my fault.
Yeah. What is it you do that you say provokes him?
He's insistent upon being up at a certain time and doing things a certain way and behaving like an adult. And if I sleep in too late, it drives him crazy. And he, also thinks that, the fact that I still want to go out and, have fun and go to bars and enjoy being, young before I have children and, more adult responsibilities. But he thinks that I'm too old to do that. And he's very controlling.
He denies everything, right?
Yes, sir.
One of the things you said is 100% of the time you've got bruises on your body somewhere. I've got examples here. This is your lower arm from May 14, and you claim this bruise happened when he grabbed your arm, right?
Yes, sir.
And you have a bruised thigh from February 2015. You claim that he did a move, a takedown, and he kicked your thigh. And you claim whenever he announces it's a takedown, you're going to get hit to the ground, and likely you're going to get your head hurt as well, because you're going to go down and go down hard. But this bruise that you're seeing here, that's from what kind of contact? Is that a kick?
It's a kick, yes, sir.
So he kicks you in the leg?
Yes, sir.
And is that the inner thigh, outer
That's
thigh?
right here, inner thigh.
Okay, so he kicks you there to kick your leg out? And
it happens so fast. It's, before I started preparing myself for these takedowns, because I can see it in his eyes when it's about to happen, I know. But before I figured that out, I'd just be standing up, and the next thing I know, I'm on the ground. And I don't know how I got there, but I would fall and, hit my head into something or...
And you say you know when this is coming. What triggers it?
Well, usually it starts over something very simple. We argue about the temperature of the house daily.
You crank it down too low.
I crank it down too low, and he is very cold-natured, so he gets mad and likes to turn it back up. But something as simple as the temperature of our house can turn into an argument that leads into something, like that he's done in the past to hurt me, and I'll bring that up, or vice versa, and then it just escalates from there. And he just has this look in his eyes. It's like he's like a demon is taking over, and he just snaps.
And so he's going to attack you.
Yes, sir.
And when he gets you on the ground, what does he do?
It depends on how mad he is. Sometimes he'll spit on me. Sometimes he'll grab me by my throat and scream at me. And sometimes he'll kick me. Sometimes he'll drag me by my hair.
You might be the most annoying person to live with ever.
I can't be.
I mean, you may sleep too long. You may sleep too cold. You may, I don't know. You may be annoying. I don't know. I've not lived with you. But you need to understand, there is no theory under which anything you might do, any characteristic, trait, behavior, nuance, or whatever that you might have or exhibit justifies or give license to a man putting his hands on you in anger. And doesn't mean that you don't have problems, doesn't mean that you're not annoying sometimes. You may be. But there are appropriate ways that couples deal with those things. And being taken down by somebody with a black belt in karate or no belt in karate, whatever, is just simply unacceptable behavior.
And I know that.
But to say I'm partially to blame for it, that's just simply not true. You're in a toxic and dangerous relationship, and that has to stop, and the only person that can stop that is you.
Well, Dr. Phil, I know that, yes, all of this does look horribly bad, but I love that man.
You say he tried to gouge your eye out of your head. What's he going to do when he finds out you brought these pictures?
He's gonna be really mad.
And later, she's charging you like a bull. Is that what you're saying? And you're having to take her down?
Yeah. You seriously think I'm physically abusing you?
Why do you think we are here?
Wednesday on an all-new Dr. Phil. The PTA mom.
She tried to kill you?
She was following me. She seemed unhinged.
She's nuts. All the stuff she said I was doing to her, she was doing to me.
And the schoolyard setup.
You were accused of planting drugs in this woman's car, did you?
No.
But they did find your DNA on the pills.
Exclusive details.
It's going to be very shocking.
There's a lot more to this story that people don't know about.
That's Wednesday.
Dr. Phil, I know that, yes, all of this does look horribly bad, but I love that man. Deep down, he's a great person. When I met Kyle, I fell in love with him almost instantly. And he treated me with the utmost respect. He didn't seem to have a mean bone in his body. He was the guy that I thought, oh, this is a safe bet. He's a nice one. And then a couple months, 6 months later, something in him changed. But in my heart, I don't think that he's a bad person.
I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm saying there's a bad outcome here. Look, if somebody was running over my foot with a car,
Yes, sir.
and just say they weren't doing it every time I saw them, but say once a week, they just ran over my foot with the car. Do you think I would care if it was because they had a hormone deficiency? Or do you think I would care that it was because they were a bad person?
I don't think.
Do you think my foot would care?
No.
You have the same outcome.
Yes, sir.
You have the same outcome. And I would be really happy to debate with this doctor what he's telling you about this, because if this is in any way saying that unleashes this beast inside a person because they have low testosterone, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to throw the flag on that. And you know what? Doesn't mean he's a bad person, doesn't mean he's an evil person. But it means his behavior is absolutely, unequivocally unacceptable. And unless you require him to change that, necessity is the mother of invention. And there was something you said in your pre-interview that really stuck with me. And here it is.
I love Kyle, but I'm terrified of what he's capable of, and I'm terrified of losing him. How do I help him?
Well, it's over your pay grade. Is he taking this seriously?
I don't think he really recognizes the fact that he's got a problem.
You say he tried to gouge your eye out of your head.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love this man. That's what you say to yourself. That's not okay. And listen, I understand that you love him and you say, this isn't him. This isn't the Kyle I fell in love with. This isn't him. Something's going on. But you recognize, are you prepared to live with this the rest of your life?
Honestly, that's what I need to figure out. And I want to know if there's something that can, if this can be fixed, if there's something you can do to help?
Of course. Of course it can be fixed. Listen, I'm the incurable optimist. I think anybody can change their behavior, change their pattern, change their personality. I truly do. But I think you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And I do think that necessity is the mother of invention. I think when you are required to do better, you do better. But I think if you are allowed to get away with things, then you do them. You get away with them. And I think as long as you allow this, then he's never going to face that. And you can't do this. You cannot continue to do this. You say you fall and hit your head. You know, what's going to happen one time when you fall and you hit the corner of a table?
And I've told him that.
And it just happens to hit the temple. People that love you can't think this is okay.
My mother can't stand him.
What's he going to do when he finds out you brought these pictures?
He's gonna be really mad. Excuse me.
Are you prepared for him to get really mad?
I am, because this is the final straw. He either needs to accept the fact that what he's doing is wrong and acknowledge it and realize it, because he won't listen to me. I can't make him understand that what he's doing is wrong, because if I could, I mean, obviously it wouldn't still be happening.
If he comes out here and he behaves insolent and immature and he walks off, that's your answer.
Then there's a good chance that'll happen. I just want it to stop. I want to be able to get along with him.
And later,
I don't try and hurt you. I just try and stop you from doing anything to me.
I'm begging you to please acknowledge what is really happening.
you were accused of planting drugs in this woman's car, did you?
No.
But they did find your DNA on the pills.
He was a major league pitcher. Now his family says he's a drunk.
You've been self-medicating with alcohol because your dream got ripped from you.
I'm not a drunkard. This is that bottom of the ninth, man. You got to do this.
Now, if he comes out here and he behaves insolent and immature and he walks off, then that's your answer.
Right. Then there's a good chance that'll happen.
Well, and if he does, then your choices become very clear, right?
Yes, sir.
If you come all this way, you've got him here, and he just and walks off, then your answer should become very clear, because somebody that has a problem is one thing. Somebody that has a problem is willing to work on it is one thing. Somebody that has a problem will not acknowledge it, will not work on it, and therefore is not going to change it. That makes your situation very clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Because loving somebody at the price of being beat on.
Sometimes love isn't enough.
I mean, I'd rather be healthy alone than sick with somebody else, right? Because I guarantee you, there's somebody out there to love you that won't beat on you.
I just want it to stop. I want to be able to get along with him. I do love him with my whole heart.
Then he needs to be worthy of that. And treating you with dignity and respect is an entry-level beginning.
Yes, sir.
That's just the entry-level beginning. If he will not do that, then, I mean, that's just entry level.
I'm sorry, I am just waterworks right now.
No, but you understand, you need to get a new normal in your head here. I'm trying to get you to get a new normal in your head. Yes, I've been with my wife for 43 years. We've been married 40 years this year. We've been together 43 years. And I can tell you in that time, it has never occurred to me to put my hands on her in anger, not one time ever. It just...
She's a very fortunate woman.
No, she's not. No, it's not that she got lucky. That's the norm. That's normal. She didn't get the good one. That's
I got the bad one.
No, that's just normal. You just don't do that.
I've tried leaving.
And I can tell you, I would never consider that. And I can look her in the eye and know it is not an option. You need to be that woman. You need to be the woman that people understand. Hitting me is not an option. You just need to be the woman. They look at that and understand this is not an option. You don't hit me. You don't take me down.
And I've told him that. And I told him that.
Well, but then you reward bad behavior because when he does it, you then come back. You then blame yourself. You then apologize for provoking. You then continue to allow it to happen. And you reward bad behavior. You do teach people how to treat you. He says that. And you're not responsible for his behavior, but you need to make sure that you are responsible for your behavior. Okay, it's time to meet Kyle. He may be here 2 minutes. He may be here and have an intelligent conversation. I don't know. But he is here. He claims he has never abused her, and many of their problems are caused by her sense of entitlement. We're going to talk to him when we come back.
Jordan feels completely entitled because she was spoiled growing up. She feels like she doesn't need to work. She doesn't feel like she needs to contribute. Jordan and I are almost 30 years old, and she still acts like she's 21. Her sense of entitlement drives me crazy. One of the things that makes me really angry.
And later...
You saying I'm beating you?
You are. You won't even admit to it.
You seriously think I'm physically abusing you?
Why do you think we are here? When it comes to Kyle's abusive behavior, I do feel like it is partially my fault because I provoke him. I feel like if I kept my word and my promises to him that the fighting would stop. When Kyle rages, it has the propensity to just get out of control. I've never called the police on Kyle because I don't think they should be involved in our personal matters. Calling the police doesn't seem to do anyone any good.
Jordan's claims she's tired of being hit in the arms and legs during angry moments called takedowns. She's tired of being verbally abused by her fiance, Kyle. Now, Kyle says, wait a minute, I'm not abusive. He believes that Jordan's sense of entitlement is the cause of many of their altercations.
What really sets me off and gets me upset is when Jordan is irresponsible, unmotivated, and lazy. She feels completely entitled because she was spoiled growing up.
I was raised very differently than Kyle. When I was growing up, my parents took care of me.
Jordan just wants to hang out. She feels like she doesn't need to work. She doesn't feel like she needs to contribute.
I've also been kind of a party girl for the better part of my life.
Jordan and I are almost 30 years old, and she still acts like she's 21. All she wants to do is go out all night, party, and then sleep all day.
If I stay up late drinking wine, then the next morning I sleep in, Kyle gets really mad.
I need my sleep, and she'll refuse to let me go to bed until 2 in the morning. She wants to have sex, and when I turn her down because I'm tired and already asleep, she takes it personally. And then she starts calling me names, insults. Jordan calls me a homo. She thinks that I don't think she's attractive.
Kyle needing his sleep and me staying up late and then sleeping in the next morning causes a lot of problems in our relationship.
Her sense of entitlement drives me crazy, and one of the things that makes me really angry. If Jordan would act like an adult, then the fighting would stop.
Okay, it's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
And you say her sense of entitlement, and it shows in, you're saying her wanting to stay up all night and party and sleep until 2, 3 in the afternoon.
Yes.
That sort of thing. Yeah. What attracted you to her?
I liked how, when we first met, she was ambitious. She was very driven. She was working for, I believe it was a marketing company at the time. She was on the right track. She was going out and partying and doing that, but she was also doing what you're supposed to do. Get up in the morning, go to work, do your job, and that's that, you know? And then she ended up losing that job, and then it started going downhill from there quickly.
Has this kind of evolved to a parent-child relationship?
Yes.
I believe so. I think I'm kind of the parent in the relationship.
And that's not okay. It's kind of weird.
So you're the parent and she's the child.
Yeah.
Do you feel superior to her in this relationship?
I don't feel superior. I want her to be on the same level as me.
Well, you want her to be, but right now, do you think she's not?
Right now...
I mean, just be honest.
Right now, I think... I do believe she's not. I believe she's... You know, I believe she wants to be.
But right now, she's inferior.
I hate saying the word inferior because, you know, she is an adult, but...
He means inferior to you. And yes, I think that is very fair to say.
I guess we can, agree on that.
Do you know why she wanted to be here?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
And for the same reason I wanted to be here. We both love each other. We both refuse to give up on each other. And we want to get married, we want to have kids, we want to have a life like any other, you know, I guess you could say normal couple has, you know, with, you know, raising a family, having a house. But it makes it difficult for me when I can't rely on her to take care of the basic
And that
responsibilities.
frustrates you.
It frustrates me incredibly.
Do you lose your temper when you get frustrated with her?
I have lost my temper in the past. Yeah, and it's built up over a long period of time.
Do you get abusive with her when you lose your temper?
I don't get, like, abusive. I get frustrated.
Kyle.
And what's that?
Honey. We need help.
I know we do.
You've got to acknowledge what is really going on. Please.
I am, and that's
I
why
am
I'm here.
begging you. You know what I'm talking about. I'm begging you to please acknowledge what is really happening.
What's a takedown?
Stopping someone from, like, freaking out, going crazy.
Did you put that bruise on her?
This is absolutely getting blown out of proportion. And
I'm sorry, do you hear yourself?
Wednesday on an all-new Dr. Phil. The PTA mom and the schoolyard setup.
You were accused of planting drugs in this woman's car, did you?
No.
But they did find your DNA on the pills.
A Dr. Phil exclusive. That's Wednesday.
I can't wake her up in the morning. Like, sometimes she'll sleep till 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and I try multiple times waking her up nicely. I'll go get back in bed with her, cuddle up, give her kisses, trying to wake her up out of bed.
When you get frustrated, what do?
And then when I get frustrated, you know, I either, you know, get mad and yell and like, why are you doing this? Or I shut down completely and just walk away from the situation and just...
What's a takedown?
It's basically when, you know, someone's coming at you and you just are able to stop them doing...
It's a disabling...
It's what?
Completely disabling the
Yeah,
person.
it's just stopping someone from, like,
Kyle.
freaking out, going crazy. And
Yeah,
just,
I've raised 2 boys, and our whole family's been very active in the martial arts. And
Yes, yeah. I took martial
son
arts as
Jace
a kid, yeah.
fought internationally, and
Yeah.
so I understand. I understand a lot about the discipline involved
Right.
in it as well, which is why I was really surprised to read this email that I got from Jordan. She says, "Hi, my situation is one that I'm sure you've heard a lot. Woman loves man, woman puts up with man, woman gets abused by man, yada, yada, yada. Once the abuse starts, it never lets up and has not let up to this day." He was enraged. He turned on the hose and proceeded to spray me down. He pushed me down the stairs, outside, all the while continuing to spray me while it was freezing outside.
Now,
He throws ice water on me in the morning if he is too cold because I turned the heater down. He screams at me and grabs me by the throat if I call him a name. He throws me down on the ground when I tell him something he doesn't want to hear.
That is absolutely untrue. There was an incident with the hose. We had broken up, and I went to stay at my parents' house. She came to my parents' house, and she was banging on the doors, refusing to leave, and I'm like, we're broken up, we're done. I do not want to talk anymore. I want to, this has gotten out of control. We need to stop. And
She says you have pushed her down, that you take her down, and that she is bruised, and she provided pictures to us to prove that. She said this is on her thigh from February 2015. She said it was the result of you doing a takedown and you kicked her thigh.
I didn't kick her.
She claims whenever she says whenever you announce it's a takedown, she knows she's going to hit the ground and likely she's going to get her head hurt in the process.
That's being over-dramatized completely.
Well, let's undramatize it. Under what theory do you have the right as a man to put your hands on a woman in anger?
I don't.
So this is something you just do in a cold and calculating way?
No, it has...
You're bruising her. I mean, did you put that bruise on her?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know where...
Did he put that bruise on you?
I mean, I didn't run into a wall, like that, honey.
I don't remember when that picture is from or where.
Why would you? I wouldn't be like, hey, look what I, took a picture
Here's
of.
one from October 15. Jordan claims this bruise happened when you grabbed her arm. She claims that you often bruise her arms when you're throwing her against the wall.
I don't know.
You pull me by my hair out of bed, honey.
This is absolutely getting blown out of proportion. These incidents that have happened have not been in an aggressive manner on my part. They have all been as a reaction to, she's came at me before.
No,
and
I'm sorry, do you hear yourself?
Yeah.
You're a man. You have experience in martial arts. I've never...
That's why I don't try and hurt you. I just try and stop you from doing anything to me.
You're telling me, you're actually saying that I'm coming at you, and then that's why I get those.
You have. That...
Really?
Yes.
Did you try to gouge her eye?
Gouge her eye? No. That is...
How did that happen?
How many bottles of wine do you drink a night?
It depends.
You're abusing alcohol.
You're abusing me.
Did you try to gouge her eye?
Gouge her eye?
Well, she says when you were arguing, you pushed her against the wall, and she claims you were trying to push her eyeball
That's
by pressing your thumb on her eye.
that's what I said. It felt like he was trying to
Right.
poke my eye out, but
No,
But you were
no,
putting pressure on her eye, and it wound up bruising her eyeball.
no, no, no. That is,
How did that happen?
that doesn't,
honey, we can't get any help unless you just be real, okay?
okay. I am being real.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you two
Look,
talk.
however this is happening, something's happening here, right?
Right.
You're having physical altercations, correct? Is she's charging you like a bull? Is that what you're saying? And you're having to take her down?
Yeah. There's been that, and then there's been with the ice water incident. I've tried for a year to try and get her out of bed before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I tried waking her up nicely with kisses, and eventually, you know, after
Or
a
sometimes
year
you
of
wake
trying
me
to
up by
get her out
grabbing
of
me
bed,
by
I've
my
got
hair
grab you by your hair.
and yanking me out of the bed.
I do not grab your by your
That
hair
is
and you out of your bed. Absolutely not.
Somebody either got a handful of hair and drug you off a mattress onto the floor, or they did not. So somebody's lying. That either happened or it didn't. Did that happen?
Yes.
No, that
Did that
not,
happen?
That did not.
So
happen.
she is totally fabricating that. She has come here to California to the Dr. Phil show on national television and sat down here and decided, I am going to make up a story whereby Kyle came into the bedroom, grabbed a handful of my hair, and pulled me off the mattress.
That is untrue.
Which
So-
part? Doesn't,
I did not grab you by your hair and pull you out of the mattress.
this
The
is,
only way I have gotten you out of bed was that one time when I put ice water on you.
Have you knocked her down the stairs?
Absolutely not.
Has he knocked you down the stairs?
We don't even have stairs in our house.
At your parents' house on the back porch when you were hosing me down.
I did not push you down the stairs, though.
Kyle, the thing about when you get like this is that you are not there when you get like that. I can see it in your eyes. You don't.
What do you see?
A demon. Something takes over you and you break my heart every time.
And you break my heart when...
Because I don't get out of the bed until 2 or because I don't pay a bill. I mean...
Not just that. It's you get... You call me names.
Yes, I will
last
agree.
night,
I will
for
admit.
example, we rented a car and we took a trip around. The whole time, she was begging me, let's go out to the bar and have a drink. Let's go have a drink. Let's go have a drink. Let's go have a drink. And then I was like, no, we need to get back to the hotel room and be rested and ready to handle these issues. And then she got mad at me for not wanting to do that.
And then I let it go, and then we had a fine evening.
And then we let it go, but it's ended with us having to stop at a liquor store for you to buy 3 bottles of wine.
Which I drank...
2 of.
Excuse me? That is a lie.
I have the 3rd bottle sitting in my bag.
Do you want to call the hotel and ask them how many bottles I left in the refrigerator?
How many bottles of wine do you drink a night? How big is that bottle?
It depends. Regardless, I'm an adult. I can do that if I want to. It is not something that affects...
You're abusing alcohol.
You're abusing me.
Now, that is absolutely not true.
Kyle, if you want to end this after this, I understand, because I'm sure you feel really betrayed by me right now. And I feel really guilty. I do. I feel really guilty for calling you out like this. But I love you so much. I don't know how to communicate with you that what you're doing is not okay.
What you're doing is not okay. When I go to sleep at night, sometimes you come in and you strip all the sheets off the bed while I'm sleeping in it at 3 in the morning.
Guess I'm a lunatic then.
We can't do this show without you, our studio audience.
If you are going to be in the Los Angeles area and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience.
Because we have a lot of fun here, don't we?
Or you can call 323-461-PHIL. That's 323-461-7445.
We have run out of time for today. We talked a lot about allegations from both sides. Jordan claimed that Kyle bruised her during physical holds. Kyle denied Jordan's claims and insisted that Jordan also contributed to the problems in their relationship. But we are just getting started. There's a whole lot more to cover before a decision can be made. Will Jordan or Kyle or both call off their upcoming wedding? Take a look.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
How'd that bruise get on her leg?
I don't know. I have watched you trip over that baby gate so many times.
Is it too late
You saying I'm beating you?
You are. You won't even admit to it.
to save this engagement?
I'm not marrying you unless this gets fixed.
Every single time she has broken up with me, she has been begging to be back
Because I love you.
together.
Maybe that was a big mistake.
She is in shock that you're saying doesn't happen.
Because it doesn't.
Whatever he's doing to you behind closed doors, he's telling you that's okay.
You seriously think I'm physically abusing you?
Why do you think we are here?
That's tomorrow.
We'll also hear from Jordan's mother, Lynn, who claims she knows a great deal about the man her daughter plans to marry. You do not want to miss tomorrow. I'd like to thank all of my guests today. Log on to drphil.com and share your thoughts on our message boards. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you tomorrow.
Memories can kill ya, but I didn't hear ya. I thought that I could fly, but woke up on the asphalt. I swear there was the last time. I've always been naive. Call it.
We gon'